let's just confirm the race result at Suzuka in Japan. Last race of F1 2003. 10 out of 10, Rubens Barrichello. Raikkonen second. Remember, he had to win to have any chance of winning the world title. Coulthard up on the podium yet again there. Button just missing out on the podium. He hasn't been on one yet, of course. Jarno Trulli starting last, finishing fifth. Sato, he always goes well at Suzuka. Great start for him. He'll be in the BAR permanently next year. D'Amato, very promising indeed from the Brazilian and for Toyota too. And Michael Schumacher making that crucial point. And the final standings, only 2 points this time round. Michael Schumacher winning that. It was 67 last year. Just confirming how close a struggle we've had throughout the season since we started in Melbourne. Raikkonen just 2 points away. Montoya third. Barrichello fourth. Ralf Schumacher fifth, just ahead of Alonso. David Coulthard, top Brit once again on 51 points. And Jarno Trulli finishing in 8th place in the drivers. The constructors, I guess it looks pretty comfortable in the end for Ferrari. Constructors champions once again, beating Williams by 14 points. McLaren in that third place. Renault, good season for Renault, fourth, and a very important fifth, the BAR. That means a huge amount in prestige and a lot of money as well coming BAR's way. Fifth place, crucial for them. Sauber sixth, Jaguar seventh, Toyota eighth, Jordan down in ninth, and Minardi the only non-scorers. Tony, whether he's the best of all time or not is open to question. He's certainly by far the best of his generation.
He is. I think had Clark lived long enough and Senna lived long enough, they would have done the same sort of thing. He is amazing. I'm not sure whether he's the very best, but I tell you, it's the very best season we've had for a long time. If you think the championship was wrapped up by France last year, and as you said, 67 points the gap last year. This year the gap only 2 points. What does that point to for 2004? It's been a tremendous year.
I think we're still waiting to hear from Michael. We can, though, hear from Mrs. Corinna Schumacher.
Corinna, congratulations. Amazing day. What about that?
I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy. So what can I say? 6 times, never did it. So
what's it going to mean to Michael, this?
I don't think that he will realize it today. I think maybe in 3-4 days it's better to ask this question.
And I see you've got the hat. Very nice.
He's very fast, you know. So he did it very... Michael don't know that before. He get mad with us when he knows that we did the hat. But now everything is fine and we are very happy.
Great, thanks very much.
6 times world champion, we go straight to the press conference.
And winning for Scuderia Ferrari Marlboro, Rubens Barrichello. Rubens, coming in here, you had to win this race, you won it from the pole, but it was difficult in those early laps.
It was always very difficult because we had a situation that I think it helps our competition. I mean, it was not damp, but it was some sort of a small water in some sort of a corners. I mean, going to spoon that right-hander, especially on the first laps where Montoya overtook me, my car was very twisty, so it was hard to keep control, and I almost lost it on the first lap. So it was difficult, and I was praying, even though everyone knows that I love the wet, I was praying not to rain because it was our main opponent. So basically, I fought all the way through, hoping that it wasn't going to rain. Plus the fact that my visor was really fogged, and all the pit stops, they had to put rubber to keep it open because it was very difficult. So I had to keep my concentration, and I was pushing right through the end because if we had a situation where it was going to be wet, for 3 laps, I knew they could catch me 3 seconds a lap. So I need to push all the way through.
Rubens, a huge day for Ferrari. Michael's clinched his 6 Drivers' World Championship, and this is the 4th consecutive Constructors' Championship of which you've been a part at Ferrari.
And I'm so proud because even though all these years Michael has been the one that has been helping for the constructors, I've been there as well. So, I mean, it's to be the 4th year consecutive on Ferrari and win that championship and to clinch this victory, because I think Suzuka is definitely a driver's circuit. So it's for me to be winning this race makes me a proud man.
Thank you, Rubens. Kimi, almost there. How big an impact did that shunt yesterday have, do you think, on your weekend?
Of course, it didn't help us, but it's passed now, and thanks to David to let me use his car and try to get back on a good shape. But I think so. We were a bit unlucky with qualifying yesterday. The last 5 guys or whatever it was got a little bit rainy and didn't help us. But I don't know. We got second place again. It's not very nice to finish second almost every time, but we were just not quick enough this year to win the title, and at least we didn't lose for bad driver.
Thank you, Kimi. David, an interesting weekend for you too. As Kimi said, you had to swap cars halfway through the weekend, and then obviously late in the race there, sitting behind Kimi. But how was the car for you?
Well, the T car, I never obviously got a full opportunity in qualifying to know exactly where it was relative to the race car because of the conditions. But in the race, I have to say balance, except on the second set of tyres, was pretty good. Second set, for some reason, had a lot of understeer, and that was quite difficult for the first 8 or 9 laps. Otherwise, I was able to run in clean air and push reasonably hard and try and make a 3-stop strategy as best I could.
Congratulations. Now, if we could have some words from your own language, starting with Rubens.
And we're going to be looking to talk to the history-making Michael Schumacher when you rejoin us. Let's just underline Michael Schumacher's achievements for you. 6 World Championship wins, record. 70 Grand Prix wins, record. 1,038 World Championship points, record. 56 fastest laps, record. I sound like a stuck record here, don't I? And 11 race wins in a season, another record. 55 poles, 195 Grand Prix, 11 poles in a season. I know, though, Tony, a lot of people are asking, is he going to carry on?
Been big rumours. He attended a lot of press conferences in Tokyo before the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. Surely you're going to retire, Mike, if you break all these records, 6th world title, etc. But he said, look, I love the sport far too much. I live for this game. I'll be around for the next couple of years to the end of my contract.
I think we can, Michael Schumacher preparing to give a press conference now, and I'm pretty sure we can hear from him.
From the Fuji Television Grand Prix of Japan, congratulations to the 2003 world champion, Michael Schumacher. Michael, you've broken many records in your career, but you've just broken perhaps the big one. 1957, Juan Manuel Fangio won his 5th world championship, and now you have won your 6th. Can you just describe your emotions?
Probably not appropriate, honestly, because it has been a tough year. There's been a tough late stage of the season, and it has been a very tough race, honestly, probably one of my toughest. But I think what is much more to mention is the team, and I only can repeat ever so often, because again today, I mean, they have done an incredible job giving both of us a car where we have been at all time competitive with. Rubens have done a fantastic drive, won the Grand Prix. So we won the constructor title 5 in a row, which I think is first time ever happened in big style. Myself, I was a little bit messy today after having a little incident, and that's why I said it was one of my toughest races, honestly, because to come back then and go through the traffic and fight your way through, with all the happenings, with what happened with Damata and Ralph hitting me in the back and so on. I mean, it was a very, very strange race, and therefore the feelings yet haven't sunk in. I mean, I can well feel for the team, but I can't feel for myself at the moment. I'm empty and I'm exhausted. I'm just proud of what we all have achieved.
What were you feeling during the race? Were they keeping you informed about where Kimi was lying? And equally, how hard were you going in traffic with Sato, for example, and again with your brother?
Obviously, I had to go flat out, especially after I lost my nose in lap 7 or 8, that was. And from that moment, it was early stage in the race. I knew Montoya was out at that stage, and I knew that the 2 McLarens were both behind Rubens, and you wouldn't know what would have happened with weather condition, with strategy and so on, what could have been the outcome in the end. So I really had to make sure by myself on top to be at least in 8th position. Thanks, I could rely on Rubens in the late stage of the race, but still, I had to fight because you never know whether a car would finish. We had Formula One, and we have always seen things happen in the past, so you have to think about the worst to be safe, and that's what I was trying. And the fight with Cristiano and with Ralph and myself in between was quite a tough one, and I really had to make sure I stay and get that 8th position to have the point in case.
And in the closing laps of the race, when you were sitting behind D'Amata, wiping your visor, the laps were unwinding, was it difficult to keep your concentration then?
It was difficult for the simple reason that when I had the incident with D'Amata in the late stage and Ralph, I locked up so heavy to avoid hitting D'Amata that I had a huge flat spot. And when you may know what it means to run over those very old stones, these rivel stones, that's the way I felt in the car. I mean, I almost lose vision down the straight because the vibrations are so huge and you get concerned. So you sort of have as well the knowledge that Ralph hit you in the back and you don't know how heavy that is, whether you can have maybe a puncture and losing your 8th position. So there's a lot of thoughts that are going through, and you just try to carry your car as safe and as easy and as light into the checkered flag.
Well, you did finish in the points in 8th place. You secured your 6th World Championship, your 9th with Ferrari, including Constructors' Championship. Some final thoughts on the team and on those achievements?
First of all, I think it is very strange for me because most of my championships I have won with a victory. And here now today I'm sitting here and winning a championship with 8th position, which is last of the points, still winning the championship, which is a mixed emotion. Though what the team has achieved, I mean, is just fantastic. I mean, if you see what has happened in Germany, Hockenheim, in Budapest, how many people wrote us off, how many people wrote things about us, outspoken things. And here we are, we're back, and we never give up. We're always there, we always fight, and I think that's one of the big strengths of the Ferrari team, and everybody in Ferrari is that way. And it's just a huge, big family, which we all be proud of being a part of it.
Tired fella, and that being back, never really away, but let's just have a look at the scrap he mentioned there with D'Amata, who had a terrific race for Toyota, and young Ralph.
Well, you see, what he was talking about, his concern was when he got hit by Ralph, he felt it on his left rear when his wing went in, and that could have cut the tyre, so that was at the back of his mind. I think Michael Schumacher's problem today was in the back of his mind was that he knew it was there just to be lost. And instead of driving flat out, he was driving cautiously. He was always having problems. He was making misjudgments like that behind D'Amata. What was he doing so close behind there? Watch this. Here you go. There goes Ralph hitting him with his front wing. Could have cut the rear tyre there. And as Michael said, how did I miss the back of D'Amata? He had so many incidents today because he knew he just needed that 1 point and he knew how much he wanted that 6th title.
Rubens Barrichello, though, did the job for Ferrari in some style, and he's been a terrific foil for Michael Schumacher.
Rubens Barrichello has done a fantastic job for Ferrari this year, period. Just look at the British Grand Prix when they were in the doldrums and he came back with pole position and probably, for me, his finest race ever, when he even put Kimi Räikkönen off on the grass going into Bridge Corner. And here he is at the end of the year after 2 pole positions, taking this fantastic win. And as he said, if I do it, I'll do it for Michael, I'll do it for Ferrari, and he's helped them win the Constructors as well.
Before we go, we can have a word with Jenson Button. He is with Louise.
Congratulations, Jenson. 4th place. You had to fight for it as well, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that was hard. I mean, this is a tiring circuit anyway, but when you've got someone that close behind you all the time, it's really difficult. But no, it's fantastic. It really is for both of us, you know, and for the whole team. Takuma did a great job too.
And that's got 5th in the championship for BAR, hasn't it?
Easily, yeah. You know, we came here looking for 2 points and, you know, to finish in front of the other teams we're competing against. But 4th and 6th, yeah, it's fantastic. Good way to start, you know. Good way to end this season and hopefully a good way to start next year.
How important is that result for the team to get the 5th in the championship?
It's really important, you know. It means a lot more money for the team, and you know, that's where we deserve to be. You know, it's been a very tough season from whatever reasons, but you know, in all we've been a very strong package.
Well done.
Thank you.
He has had a good season. That's the end of the action. Of course, the ITV F1 website continues throughout the winter. James Allen, your man, for Ask the Team this week, and live chat with Tony Wednesday lunchtime. Another chance to see the Japanese Grand Prix. That is this afternoon at 3:35. Highlights just after midnight. Repeated tomorrow evening, ITV2 at 7. Next, though, Angus Scott, a Rugby World Cup triple header. 3 home nations in action. Wales and England, of course. In between, it is Scotland. 6 weeks until we know Rugby's world champions. Today, for the 6th time, we acclaim and congratulate Michael Schumacher. Bye-bye.
I wanna take you on a roller coaster.
Brilliant race for Michael Schumacher, who exits the chicane to win the 2000 Japanese Grand Prix and the World Championship for the 3rd time. Michael Schumacher wins. Michael Schumacher is world champion. Ferrari are constructors' world champions, and Michael Schumacher, as ever, is absolutely euphoric.
Michael Schumacher's done it today, and he's a 5 times World Formula One champion. This is history.
I wanna take you on a roller coaster. I wanna tell you that I'm feeling close.
Michael Schumacher is coming through to take his first win of the 2003 Formula One season. Michael Schumacher wins on the debut of the new Ferrari. An incredible Grand Prix in Austria, and the Great Escape has come true. He takes his 4th win of the season, and it's really a Michael Schumacher day. Michael Schumacher wins at Monza, and what an important one. It's been an incredible day for Schumacher. He wins the American Grand Prix at Indianapolis. We were all around to see it then, this historic moment when Michael Schumacher became the first 6-time World Formula One champion.
Formula One on ITV, sponsored by Toyota.
If you'd like to know more about Formula One, the website address sponsored by Toyota is itv.com/F1.